everybody, Tony G with another hot take. This one is about consequences and the very sad consequences of rioting. I told you not to do this. You didn't listen. So the FBI caught a woman, she's 33, allegedly. She burned 2 police cars during the May 30 riots in front of City Hall in Philadelphia. I believe it was near City Hall. They got her on videotape. They got pictures of her. They figured out who she was from a tattoo on her arm and a t-shirt that she wore, which she bought on Etsy. She reviewed it on Etsy, and that linked to her comment to her LinkedIn profile. And, well, you don't have to be Scooby-Doo to figure out who this woman was. So, she's in big trouble. She's in big trouble. Here's what she's facing. $500,000 fine and 80 years in prison. Let me say that again. $500,000 fine and 80 years in prison. That's the max. Obviously, she won't get the max. Or will she? Because understand that the Trump administration has stepped on the gas for Antifa, though they're turning the FBI from Middle Eastern terrorists to domestic terrorism. And when the FBI gets turned on to something, they love to have people to hang out to dry. They're desperate to have anybody to hold up in front of the media and say, see, we caught someone. We justified our billions of dollars. Please give us more. See how many people we got to catch? Yeah, you idiots have handed the FBI a blank check to continue to harass you. They harassed peaceful protesters, you morons. I told you. Yes, even peaceful protesters will infiltrated and followed by the FBI. They looked for excuses to arrest anybody in the peace protest during the certain times. Not when I was protesting, more back in the 60s. But they had to make up crimes for them. I mean, they had to really work at it to throw some of the peace protesters in jail. They don't have to do much work for you idiots. You idiots burn, loot, throw bricks at people. They just have to find you, and that's what they do. They find people. And it's pretty easy to find people these days, especially if you're in a major city that has a camera on every telephone pole. I told you. Prison. Okay? What's your wokeness going to do for you in prison? Hey, everybody. I just wanted to say, for all of you in the prison gangs, you guys over there looking very menacing. Oh, and you over there also looking at me very menacingly. Oh, you guys with the shivs. Yeah, I just want to say we all have to stop dead naming people or misgendering people. Because otherwise, that could be very bad. Yeah, that doesn't fly in prison, that kind of Twitter nonsense. You can bully people and cancel people on Twitter. Try to cancel somebody in prison. You might be able to, I don't know, make fun of them in the yard or in the cafeteria, I guess, until they decide to shiv you, or I don't know, do a little tap dance on your entire body with their prison gang. I mean, it's tough in prison. You've really stepped in it, is what I'm saying. This is not going to go well for you in prison. No one's woke in prison, okay? Even if they jam the prisons full of Antifa members, from now until whenever, it's unlikely that most of them are even Antifa, the rioters. A lot of them will just be local knuckleheads who do this stuff all the time. And those guys are going to sell you out in a hot minute. Some of the Antifa guys will sell you out in a hot minute. This woman's facing 80 years, potentially, and $500,000 fine. Now, this is all alleged. She might get off. She might have good lawyers. Who knows? God, kind of doubt it. I kind of think she's going to plead to something because there's a really good picture of her winding up to throw that Molotov cocktail. Does not look good. Not a good look. See, you might think the average person will see that picture and go, wow, how heroic. She's stopping the patriarchy. She's stopping those fascist police. Good for her. No, the average person looks at that and goes, oh my God, this woman's 33 years old. She's throwing gasoline at a police car? What is wrong with her? That's a normal person reaction. So you're probably going to get 12 normal people on that jury who are going to go, oh, their only question is how many years you're going to do. Now, maybe if you go in there and cry and you're very apologetic and you give us a big song and dance of how you got sucked into the lifestyle of being a rabid communist zealot, maybe they'll let you off light and you only get 10 years or something. And have to pay for the police cars. Good luck with that. I'm sure it'll still be over $100,000. But you might just get a bunch of blue-collar guys who say, you know what? I'm sick of this stuff. I'm sick of her. She should go to prison. She's a danger to the community. She's a monster. Then you might get 20, 30 years out in 12 and a half with good behavior, I guess. You're in your mid-40s. Quite a record of felony arson. It's going to be tough to get a job then. You thought it was tough making ends meet. Now, under the Trump administration, wait till it's 3 terms later. Who knows who's going to be president then? Who knows about the long-term effects of defunding the cops and the economy hit and all that. But you will be forgotten by the time you get out of prison. I mean, 10 years from now, this whole thing will be nothing. So maybe if you're lucky, you'll get a retrospective on some local TV channel like, oh, remember the riots in 2020? Oh, that was crazy. And maybe they'll have a picture of you winding up, but I don't know. I don't know if your book is going to be a major hit because you once torched a police car. In fact, there are laws in the book keeping criminals from making money off their crimes with books. So I wouldn't count on that, helping you out. I wouldn't count on Antifa calling up their lawyers or, calling in their vast resources because they don't have vast resources. That's part of the deal with Antifa. They're not a real political party. If they had a lot of money, they probably wouldn't engage in such dangerous action because they'd have something to protect. No one's going to help you, except maybe your family, except maybe a handful of Democratic donors who are still so woke they can't see the forest from the trees, but that'll stop soon. I mean, once they really start indicting people, Trump's the kind of guy who's going to say, Tim Pool in his video about the Civil War said, what are they going to do? Throw all these people in jail? Oh, I think Trump will say, yeah, absolutely. They broke the law. Throw them all in jail. Build more jails. He don't have a problem taking out a loan and build another jail. Trump can build stuff. He'll build another jail. He'll build another 50 jails if he has to. He's not going to care. He doesn't care about spending money. He'll spending money like a drunken sailor, that guy. So, yeah, when he says put them all in jail, I believe he would. I believe he'll tax the FBI and local law enforcement to the absolute maximum to go after these people. You're on their radar now. And now you're going to be the scapegoat for everybody's problems. Because, to some extent, you are part of the problem. You're making everything worse and miserable for the rest of us. You've made everybody in the city of Philadelphia fearful and worried. You're going to prison. And people will be happy that you go. And I think it's a tragedy because it was so preventable. You could have staged a peaceful protest. You could have gotten involved in the process. I mean, part of the reason people don't get involved with the political process is it's so damn boring, and it requires all this paperwork that no one likes to do. People don't even register to vote. It's too much paperwork. It's only a page long in New Jersey. So, if your solution is to throw gasoline at a police car, you're going to have to be taken out of society. I mean, that's the system we came up with. We take people like you, take you out of society and put you away in a place that you won't throw gasoline at police cars. You could have killed people, not just the cops. Those cop cars could have exploded near people and killed them. Could have started other fires. Could have set fire to City Hall. Now, you might think that's a great thing, being a rabid extremist that you probably are, but that would have been a terrible thing. The City Hall of Philadelphia is one of the nicest buildings you'll ever see. It was, I believe, the capital of the United States for a short time. Or did they move it before that? Oh, maybe that was Independence Hall. Still, City Hall was the biggest bureaucratic building of its time, I believe. Pretty fancy. It's got a great history. You should learn that history. You may have the time to learn the history now. Maybe better yourself when you're in prison if you end up going. I'm pretty sure you will. I'm pretty sure they're going to pull out all the stops to make sure you go to prison, to make an example out of you. So these other Antifa lunatics start going, ooh, I'm not going to the riot today. I got stuff to do. I'm going to binge watch Game of Thrones and play Xbox and F all this. That's why this happens. Because you're going to start to see the thinning of the ranks. As the zealots go to prison, the rest of the rank and file go, ooh, no thank you. Yeah, this was cool for a while, but I'm giving up the hoodie and bandana. See you guys. Yeah. When the rubber meets the road, these guys leave. They're trend setters. They follow trends. When the trend could get you in prison, oh, they're out. They're very out. I told you.